Have you ever regretted saying something instantly? Words, like arrows, can't be taken back. But what if every word you spoke reflected wisdom, finesse, and inner strength? That's the power of mastering your speech, a skill rooted in Stoic philosophy. Today we'll explore 6 things intelligent people never say to elevate how you communicate at work, with friends, and even with yourself. Are you ready? Let's jump right in and uncover the wisdom together. Number 1. Avoid boasting about knowledge. Picture this. We've all encountered that one person who can't resist flaunting their accomplishments, turning every conversation into a stage for their brilliance. At first, it might seem impressive, even inspiring, but quickly it becomes exhausting, leaving others feeling alienated. Marcus Aurelius captured it perfectly when he said, "Nature does not boast about what it creates." The most profound wisdom, much like the quiet beauty of a sunrise or the steadfast strength of a mountain, never needs to announce itself. Consider John, a tech expert whose conversations were dominated by his own achievements. Initially, his colleagues admired his knowledge, but over time, they began to distance themselves. His relentless self-promotion overshadowed opportunities for genuine connection. It wasn't until a colleague confronted him that John had a moment of clarity. He saw how his boasting had eroded trust and camaraderie. Determined to change, John embraced humility, choosing to listen more and speak less. Over time, his reputation shifted, not as someone who demanded attention, but as a collaborator and leader whose wisdom shone quietly through his actions. The lesson is clear. Let your deeds speak louder than your words. True strength lies in humility, and silence, as the Stoics remind us, is often more powerful than the loudest proclamation. Number 2. Never dismiss others' opinions. Think back to a time when your idea was brushed aside. It stung, didn't it? Few things can deflate motivation and trust faster than feeling dismissed. Early in my career, I made that very mistake. In a rush to keep a meeting moving, I dismissed a colleague's suggestion without much thought. At first, I thought I was being efficient, but the shift in the room was palpable. Creativity stalled, and an undercurrent of tension replaced the collaborative energy we once had. Later, a trusted colleague shared a lesson that stuck with me. Listening doesn't mean you have to agree, it's about showing respect. That simple yet profound insight transformed the way I approached conversations. By listening with genuine curiosity rather than preparing a counterpoint, I began uncovering fresh perspectives, rekindling creativity, and building deeper connections. The lesson is clear. Replace the mindset of, "How can I counter this?" with, "What can I learn from this?" Humility fosters trust. Trust fuels collaboration, and collaboration is the heart of innovation. Number 3. Refrain from complaining without purpose. Complaining often feels like a release, but without purpose it becomes little more than background noise. Consider Peter, a colleague notorious for venting about everything: tight deadlines, uncooperative coworkers, even the office coffee machine. At first, his rants drew sympathy, but over time they became tiresome. Then one day, someone bluntly asked him, "What are you doing to fix these problems?" That question became a turning point. Peter realized his complaints weren't solving anything. They were merely distractions. He began shifting his focus, learning new skills during his commute, brainstorming solutions instead of griping, and practicing gratitude for what was working. As his perspective changed, so did the energy he brought to the workplace. Instead of draining the room, he inspired it. The lesson is simple, yet profound. Focus on what you can control. Complaints might momentarily relieve frustration, but only action can create meaningful change. Transformation begins when we channel dissatisfaction into solutions. Number 4. No empty promises. Promises hold a special kind of power. They can build trust, set expectations, and shape relationships, but only if they're genuine. Empty promises, no matter how well-meaning, can quickly chip away at your credibility and strain the connections you value. Take Greg, for example. A busy professional juggling a demanding career and family commitments, he often found himself overcommitting. He'd promised to review reports by a certain time or attend family dinners, but time and again he fell short. The excuses piled up, and so did the frustration, until one day his teenage daughter left a note that hit him hard. "We just want you to mean it when you say it." That simple message was a wake-up call. Greg realized that while his intentions were good, his constant unfulfilled promises were damaging the trust he had built with the people who mattered most. So he made a change. He started pausing before committing, making sure he could truly follow through. He shifted from overpromising to underpromising and over-delivering, focusing on what he could realistically do and doing it well. Greg's transformation didn't happen overnight, but by aligning his actions with his promises, he began to rebuild the trust he'd lost. Over time, people saw him for what he truly was, a person of integrity whose actions spoke louder than his words. Knowing that his promises were meaningful gave Greg a sense of peace and purpose. In the end, keeping your promises isn't about being perfect. It's about being authentic. When your words and actions are in sync, the bonds you build are unshakable, and your true character shines through. So before you make a promise, pause, reflect. Make sure your yes is something you can honor. Your integrity and the strength of your relationships depends on it. Number 5, don't deny your mistakes. Admitting your mistakes isn't a sign of weakness, it's a mark of strength. As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, "If someone shows me my mistake, I will gladly change. It is the truth I seek." That search for truth, even in the face of error, is what separates those who grow from those who stagnate. I'll give you an example from my own experience. In the rush to meet a tight deadline, I missed some key details in a report, which caused some real issues for my team. My gut reaction was to make excuses. After all, everyone's busy, right? But instead of deflecting blame, I took a deep breath, admitted my mistake, and apologized. I then outlined a clear plan to prevent it from happening again. That honesty, though uncomfortable, earned me more respect from my colleagues than any excuse ever could. Why is admitting mistakes so powerful? Because it demonstrates courage, humility, and a commitment to self-improvement. When you own your mistakes, you show that you're willing to learn and grow. On the flip side, denying mistakes only erodes trust and credibility. So, how can we embrace this principle in our daily lives? Start by practicing self-awareness. When something goes wrong, pause and ask yourself, what was my role in this? Then, focus on solutions. Apologize, but don't stop there. Take action to make things right. And remember, mistakes aren't failures. They're opportunities to improve. Every misstep is a chance to learn something new. In the end, mistakes don't define who we are. Our response to them does. When we face our mistakes with honesty and a genuine desire to improve, we build trust, inspire others, and strengthen our character. True strength lies in acknowledging the truth, no matter how uncomfortable, and striving to do better. Number 6, don't overshare future plans. The Stoics caution against oversharing your future plans or making promises too lightly. Words have weight, and when we make commitments we can't keep, they can lose their meaning and damage our credibility. Take Jim, for instance. He was the type of person who couldn't resist saying yes to everything, helping friends with favors, taking on extra projects at work, or committing to social events. His enthusiasm was admirable, but soon enough, his promises turned into forgotten commitments, leaving relationships strained. One day, a friend confronted him, saying, "It's not about what you say, it's about what you do." That moment of truth hit Jim hard. He realized that overpromising with the best of intentions was actually causing more harm than good. Marcus Aurelius once said, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." Empty promises often stem from a fear of letting others down, but ironically, they only breed disappointment. So, how can we avoid falling into this trap? First, it's essential to pause before saying yes. Take a moment to reflect. Does this commitment truly align with my values and priorities? It's okay to turn things down. Saying no isn't selfish. It's a sign of self-awareness. It allows you to preserve your energy and focus on what truly matters. Next, prioritize quality over quantity. Commit to fewer things, but give your best to those you do choose. Build trust by following through consistently. And remember, every promise you make is a reflection of your character, so ensure it's one you can keep. By adopting a more mindful approach to commitments, Jim was able to repair his relationships and regain respect. When he started saying yes only to what he could fully honor, his actions spoke louder than ever before. At the end of the day, it's not about how much you promise, but how well you deliver. Speak with purpose, act with integrity, and keep your commitments with conviction. Finally, if you enjoyed this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. I love this wisdom to show your engagement. Share your challenges and triumphs in the comments. Let's grow together on this journey toward wisdom and authenticity. Continue exploring these ideas in the videos linked here. See you next time.